Everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Annetta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we are shipping out today on Wednesday. It's actually not really a good day, kind of like a bad one, but at least there is still some stuff that's sold. I've been listing a bunch of like Warhammer bits and pieces. I think that's all I did yesterday, and then now there's some like loose miniatures. I have some from a sci-fi game called Void I'm working on. And then I stopped to take this video and we're about to ship this stuff out. So the first thing that sold right here is a set of 8 black and red board game pawn pieces. That's it. They're like plastic little circular ones. They're about like an inch high. I get board game bits and pieces all the time, even lower to the ground stuff, meaning like stuff that sells for cheaper. I do pick them up. This ended up selling for $6, so not too crazy. I think I started at $9. I usually start at $9 for stuff I don't care as much about, and then I usually take whatever offers come in. I usually tell Annetta, because she does most of the packing, that as long as it's the packaging material is not too expensive and it's not too much effort for her to pack it, like just take whatever on like $9 or less stuff. So $6 for that plus shipping. We do plus shipping for everything. All right, next up is another one of these foil Albert's Wesker legendary Resident Evil legendary deck building card. Since I have less stuff, I can talk more about this game. So the legendary system is kind of like these campaign deck building games where you go through like different scenarios and then you get to pick different heroes. So there'll be these big boxes. They have Marvel. I don't know. They might have DC, maybe not. They have a bunch of different Marvel ones. They have like James Bond. They have like the Alien movies. They have the Predator movie. I think they have a Buffy one. They have a Resident Evil one. They have a bunch in this line, and the system's pretty cool. The only reason why I've played a bunch, but I don't like them as much, is because the setup's kind of intense for like a card game. You'll pick like an enemy boss to fight. On the card or in the rule book, it'll say like, oh, you need to randomly choose a villain group. You shuffle that in, you put some events in, you put the victory conditions in, you choose your hero, you choose what heroes of the cards you're going to be purchasing, kind of like a Dominion type of deck building game. So it's a lot of setup, but when you're actually playing the game, they're usually pretty cool. We did not like the Buffy one. The Buffy first scenario is pretty rough because there was like a boss or an effect that was making us discard cards. All right, I'm on a tangent right now. This is for the Resident Evil deck building game. But yeah, you set it up and you go through usually like scenarios like 1 through 5 or something, or you could just like replay some. You can change the villain. You can change the difficulty. So they're pretty in-depth deck building games. So yeah, that's what this is. This is probably like a different villain, I'm assuming, that you can fight in the game. This ended up selling for $10. I never played the Resident Evil one. I've played like the Marvel ones, the Buffy one, Alien one, and the Predator one. I know there's other ones as well. All right, next up is Shadows of Brimstone right here. This is going to be a Scorch Pistol promo card artifact. So this is also another game that's interesting to me. This is a game I've been told I would like. This is kind of an older one. It's also like a campaign game. People relate it to, if you like the Gloomhaven tactics, you'll actually like Shadows of Brimstone. So they'll come in these big boxes. They'll be like a full-fledged game, but I think there's going to be like different themes. There's going to be like a Wild West one. There's going to be like an Arkham, like Cthulhu, mind-bendy one. I forgot what the other one. I don't know if there's a fantasy one. But yeah, this is like a promo card you can add into the game as like another weapon you can get. It is a game I do eventually want to play. It's been on my radar for like 10 plus years. I'm just waiting to find the game cheap because I think the big boxes, I want to say, were around like anywhere from 70 to 100. So I want to eventually find it while thrifting and get it for cheap and then be able to play it. So yeah, $11.66 for this promo, which is pretty cool. That's all I know about Shadows of Brimstone. I know people love it. I don't know if they're making new stuff. But yeah, I think it was like earlier 2000s or mid 2000s where that was being produced, the different games. All right, next up is a magazine. We got a bunch of different catalogs. This is also another catalog. Transworld stands right here, August 2000. This actually has a bunch of stuff about like clothes, skateboarding, pop rock. On the back here, you see like a bunch of different skateboarders, someone skateboarding and pictures in the skateboard there. There's also like stuff about MP3 players, watches, and stuff like that. This one ended up selling for $22.39. So all those catalogs were doing really well. Most of them sold at this point. This is like one of the stragglers. All right, next up is a little Halloween decoration right here. This is just like a light up candle. This has like a spider front to it. And then there's a little switch that turns on. I could turn it on right now, but it's daylight, so you can't really see. If you want to take a look at my pictures, you can look under my solds to see I have this like lit up in my light box. It looks pretty cool. People love Halloween. This sold for $15. This is pretty cool. I don't remember where we got this one. Thrift. Oh, that was yours? That was yours? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you got bored of it. Got bored of it. Okay. I would have felt bad if I accidentally sold your stuff. It's happened before where like I just list literally whatever's in front of me at some point. I just like go through stuff and I just list. You scared me when you said it was yours. All right, next up is another Marvel Overpower thing. We just sold like $430 of this stuff. I only have like 30 listings left. This is an interesting one. This is going to be the little rule book that you get in starter packs. And then, well, I guess you can't really tell, but there's going to be 3 reference cards that talk about like all the different decks that exist in the game, kind of like a mini checklist. This ended up selling for $5, so not too crazy. This is stuff that like, I don't know if other people would list, just like the odds and ends and bits and pieces of like lots I get. I do list them, even if it's not for a lot of money. And it's funny because like it's sold for $5. It's pretty cool. It's just like an extra little cherry on top, a little chocolate chip on top of the cookie of profits, I guess. That's what I think of it. So yeah, $5. I had another rule book and some more reference cards. So I relisted it. That's going to be my last set of rule book and reference cards because people do like the rules. They do like to collect everything. It doesn't have to just be the playable pieces. All right, next up, second to last order right here. This is going to be a vintage Hot Topic red and black belt with the silver stars. I'm sure a lot of people recognize this if you're our age. This ended up selling for $26. This is pretty cool. I got this from the same person I got the catalogs from. They had a bunch of stuff from like the early 2000s and stuff like that. So yeah, apparently there weren't too many of the Hot Topic stuff on there. And this was really good condition. This was like size 36. All right, so that's pretty cool. And then the last thing is going to repeat buyer right here. This is the World of Warcraft trading card game deck boxes. I find these all the time. People pass up on them all the time. They even pass up on the cards. I like to do bulk lots. I actually have a bunch that I got at auction. I have to go through maybe today if I have time after I'm done listing the Void miniatures, the bits and pieces, Warhammer like stuff, like a little bin I got. But yeah, this is going to be the mage right there. So yeah, someone can use this for the Wild TCG player, Pokemon, Magic, board game, anything. This ended up selling for $11. I got this as a set of 3 at auction. It was $2 for the set of 3, so it's cool. No one bid against me. I knew in my head, I was like, I could probably get 8 to 15, depending on if like the deck box is a promo one or not, because I'll look them up later. I actually don't look it up at the time. I just know like, yeah, I'll buy 3 of them for $2, and this sold for $11 to a repeat buyer, which is pretty cool. I hope that makes me want to list more World of Warcraft TCG stuff because I now have a repeat buyer who just bought something and they might be looking constantly at our shop for more stuff like that. I do have a good amount of WoW TCG stuff. I've sold some like rare stuff as well. I'm not sure if we were recording on the channel yet. I think there was the like Lich King that I sold for $100. He was like a cool foil promo card. All right, but yeah, that's everything for Wednesday. Nothing too crazy. It's not like a really good day, but it's not as bad as it could be. We're about to wrap this up. Like I already told you guys what I'm going to be listing. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our shop down below. But yeah, have a good one.